Hey guys, Skull here, and today we are back for a mod spotlight. This mod is EnderIO. This is the 1.7.10 version. And for those of you who don't know what EnderIO is like another version of thermal expansion, but it's better in my opinion. To be honest with you, if thermal expansion would have added their conduits at first, I probably would have never used EnderIO. But let's get started. EnderIO uses the RF power system from Thermal Foundation. It's Thermal Foundation now, not Thermal Expansion. So it has some power generators here, and my little signs here tell you what each one takes. Stirling generator can take furnace fuels like coal, wood, charcoal, blah blah blah. Combustion generator can take lava and water, or oil and water. It just takes a fuel and a coolant. So, for example, you can have oil. I think you can probably use thermal expansion fluids in here to cool it as well. You can probably use blazing pyrotheum. Actually, since I'm in the Feed the Beast Infinity mod pack, let's test that out right now. Thermal foundation. Let's try blazing pyrotheum and gel pyrotheum. I haven't tried this. I don't think you can do it. Nope, you can't do it. Okay. So, some fuels I do know that work is refined oil, regular oil. This is the Buildcraft version, by the way, like the oils. And you can use water for a coolant. So that's about the only coolant I actually know of right now, but depending on the mod pack, you have different ones. This one is the zombie generator. This uses nutrient distillation, which you can get from the vat here, and you can use multiple things. You just have to have water, and most people usually use like rotten flesh to make nutrient distillation, and then you can use a fluid conduit to pump it out and pump it back in here to make more. And these two here are pretty self-explanatory. They're solar panels. This one's the weak one. This is the upgraded version. If I hold shift here, you can see on Wayla, produces power during daylight hours, must have clear line of sight to the sky. And this one, actually, both have efficiency of 27%. But these are both full right now. If I can't middle click on it. These are basically just the solars here. Let's go over here and I'll show you right here. So this one produces max output 10 RF a tick. And the upgraded one here is 40 RF a tick. I'm not going to show the recipes and stuff on camera, because you guys can just look that up in EnderIO, and it varies per pack anyway for like certain packs like HQM. Okay, so next up, machines. The sag mill, this is sag mill. The sag mill is pretty much a pulverizer. You just throw in an ore, and it doubles it for you. You can also click configure IO, and if you right click, you can set the pull, push, or push and pull, or you can just disable it. But if I wanted to go automatically into the alloy smelter here, which will smelt my items for me, it's pretty much an electric furnace. You can also do the same thing here as well. You can do this pretty much any EnderIO machine. As you see, it doubled my ore out here. Let's do it again. I put in one ore, and it will double it. Also, there are machine upgrades. You have the, hold on, shift click. Oh, whoops. Okay, so let's just pretend that didn't happen, and then let's just go grab that. You have the basic capacitor. Can I just, okay, so I can just regular click it. So you have the basic capacitor, which doesn't work in these machines. I think this one's just a crafting item, because, can you put it in these? Yeah, I think this one is just a crafting item. But the next one, you have the double layer capacitor, or you have the some people say octadic, but I say octadic capacitor. So you can put this in here, and as you see, it gives it more power. So if you hold shift, increase the energy storage and speed range of the machines. This one does the same thing. So we have this, and we have this. Now this capacitor can go in this machine, and this capacitor can go in that machine. This can go in any of the machines that accept the capacitor. So that's that. Next up, you have this I can't even say this, slice and splice. This is usually used to make Z-Logic controllers, which is used for the zombie generator. And the soul binder is used for like powered spawners and all that. So that's basically what that does. The painting machine. The painting machine allows you to take a conduit facade, which I thought I had in my inventory, but apparently I don't. It allows you to take a conduit facade where is it? I looked over it. Here it is. Conduit facade. You can take a block texture. Let's just take... This also works with connected texture, by the way. It does work with chisel, too. So, yeah, that's the thing. But I'm going to use stone. So, basically, what you do is you put in a block texture, and then you put in the conduit facade. Wait on this guy. He'll speed him up. And then, boom. So, what you do with the conduit facade is you place on any conduit. All you do is just right-click. And as you see, let me get a crescent hammer. I really didn't come prepared. Thermal foundation tools, not in here. See, I would use my search tab, but for some reason, the latest version of Feed Beast Infinity, it caused a crash. So, yeah. Thermal expansion items. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Duh. Okay, so if I get my crescent hammer here, you can actually see that the conduit is inside the block, and you can step on this block. You can do all that type of stuff. You can also combine conduits as well. So if I were to grab, let's say let's see. Well, I know I got one of those conduits in my inventory. I had a conduit in my inventory. I don't know what happened to it. So if I grab a conduit here, let's grab, I don't know, this conduit. You can fit multiple conduits in one block. Oh, it must have to be different ones. So let's put an item conduit on the power conduit. As you see, they are actually in the same block. I can throw a conduit facade over these bad boys, and you wouldn't even know that they're there. That's why I really like EnderIO's conduits. And then you just left click to break them. So, next up is the crafter. This is pretty much just a cyclic assembler. You put your recipe in, and then you just tell it to output. The VAT already explained what this does. The power monitor just pretty much shows you how much power is in each machine that you have connected to this. So as you see, capacitor bank storage 2.5 million, because I have a creative capacitor right over there. Average amount output over 5 seconds, 10,000 RF a tick. And the planter, farming station, sorry. This plants and harvests plants and, well, crops. So this is pretty much what you'd use if you don't have Minecraft Reload installed, which I do. Or you just want to use it because you want this an all-in-one thing. So that's that. Wireless charger. If you hold shift on it, it says charges items in nearby players' inventories. So this guy's hooked up to power. If I grab, say, a vibrant capacitor, this should charge. Hold on, do I have to? Let's see, it must not work with capacitors. Alright, so let's say I grabbed I don't want it already charged, though. Okay, let's grab a staff for traveling. And this guy should start charging. I don't know why it's not. Whoops. Let's tell you to insert. Why you know charge? Is it because I'm in creative? It could be because I'm in creative. Game mode S. So weird. I don't know why it's not charging. Well, professionalism. Game mode C. Okay, so that's what it basically does. It just charges items in your inventory. So that's that. Next up is your typical fluid tank. You can just grab a bucket of water or any type of fluid, and you just throw it in there. And then you pick it up with your crescent hammer. Boom, the liquid still stays in the tank. So that's that. And this is the same thing, just an upgraded version. This is the reservoir. You just put your water in, and it's actually an infinite source. So you form a water, place it in 2x2x1. Add 2 buckets of water for infinite water source. Produces 1 bucket per second. Right click with emergency to enable auto output. So this is pretty much just your infinite water source. This is usually used if a mod disables infinite water sources. So that's that. Next up, vacuum chest. Basically what this does is, it's like a vacuum hopper. You just throw an item in it and it just sucks it up. So, I mean, pretty simple. This is usually good if you're using like a mob farm with iron spikes from extra utilities or anything. Or just auto kill. It just sucks up the items. You can hook up item conduits up to it and automatically output. Dimensional transceiver. This is like a thermal expansion version of the Tesseract, but this, I mean, I don't want to compare the same mods. I mean, because they're kind of alike, but they're not completely alike. So this is pretty much a Tesseract. It teleports items and power, but this requires a little bit of power to run. So, if I set this guy, if I click on the power tab, I mean, it transports items, fluids, and all that other stuff too. But, for example, I have a resonant capacitor over there. And, basically, I told this guy to send. For example, if you guys wanted to send, I'll do it again. I'll create another channel. You can name it anything you want. Let's name it tutorial. And then you click add. And then you click whether you want to receive or you want to send. This is on the power tab. You have a send filter, you have certain items you want it to send. Same thing for item power and stuff here. So I already have this set up, so I'm just gonna toggle downfall again. I don't know why it's raining so much. So I have a resonant capacitor creative. So if I plug in this guy over here is set to receive, oh, there's a donkey. This guy's set to receive power. So if I go here, as you guys can see, it's actually gaining 9,040 RF a tick. Okay, so that's that. We're going to go ahead and leave that guy charging, I guess. Next up is the item buffers. So basically, what this guy allows us to really do is just buffer the items that you want to send. I really don't see why you'd actually use this, because you can like place a chest or something to buffer the item. I really don't know why this is actually a thing. This is a power buffer as well. This has a power storage. I mean, so basically all they really do is just store items, and this one stores power. And this is the Omni buffer. This stores power and items. So you see, you put your item buffers here, and you put your power buffer there. Next up is the EnderIO. This is usually used with the staff of traveling or a. If I stand on a dimensional transceiver here, if I look at that, as you see, I'm in the interface of the EnderIO. And so basically what this allows us to do is just use machines from far distances. Like you're away from your base and you need to use your machine. You go in here. You can also use a staff of traveling with this. It's used with both. And say this is a machine right here, which it is. I right click on it and it opens up the GUI for it, which is really nice. Very, very, very useful. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, the staff of traveling, you can use this to teleport to your base, or you can sit there and hold shift and right click, and you can keep on teleporting in the air. So you can pretty much fly and survive with this thing. But what most people use it for, you look at your dimensional transceiver or your EnderIO, and you just right click and it'll teleport you to it, which is really cool. Okay, so next up is the dimensional transceiver. As you guys just saw, I demonstrated it. You place it down, you can right click it, name it anything, look, name goes here. You can set it where you want it protected, and certain players can go to it. You want it private, or you want it public, where anyone can just go to it. So, like I say, you just go like this. Name goes here. Right click. Boom. Teleported to it. This can be used if This can be mainly used if you have multiple floors in your base and you don't feel like walking, or you have something really far away and you like to teleport to it. So that can really teleport you a far away, as long as you have the other thing chunk loaded. Next thing up is the Attractor obelisk. Draws mobs towards it. Specify the mobs to affect by placing their souls within the device. And to capture their souls, you just need a soul vial. And then the soul vial is like a safari net. You just right click a mob with it and place the soul vial in there, and they'll start attracting mobs to it. For example, actually, let me go ahead and demonstrate this here, because I mean this is a mod spotlight, so I guess I'll demonstrate some other things. Soul vial. I think I passed it. Oh no, there it is. So for example, say I want this to affect a pig. I right click a pig, and I think it won't work. Well, it's because I'm in creative. But if I go in survival here, it'll actually consume. Wow, I can't even spell or speak. So empty soul vial, right click a mob, and I have 2 of these, but I already had this one because I just did it a second ago. And you just go back over here. Let's go back in creative. You go back over here. You place this guy in here. You provide it with some power, which we can with our creative cell here. So this guy has power, and it should start attracting pigs within a certain radius. I'm not really sure what the radius actually is. Show range. See, if mods were in... Here, let's spawn in a pig. Actually, no, let's just release one. Put him in here. It'll actually pull the mob toward it. So this can be useful for mob farms. So yeah, that's that. Next up, let me hide range. Next up is the aversion. Prevents mobs from spawning within the area of the effect. So basically, you just capture a mob. Say you don't want Enderman spawning in your base, which there's something Dark 20 would actually use, because yeah, he has fights with Enderman all the time. So basically, you just capture your mob. Same thing as the other one. You just put it in here. Click show range. See the range of it, and mobs can't spawn in that radius of. You can specify multiple types, 3, 6, 9, 12. You can specify up to 12 mob types. So basically, you can pretty much make this thing mob-proof if you'd like. And just have your base surrounded with multiple of these. Next up is the experience uplift. Stores experience can output liquid XP to adjacent tanks. So, let's see, store... Okay, so basically you can just store your experience here. If I get a bottle of enchanting. I think it's in this. Yeah, it is. Bottle of enchanting. Here, we can throw this guy away. We don't need him anymore. Actually, let's go in creative. I meant survival. Game mode S. And do this. And let's get, I don't know, 10 levels. So basically, I can just store my experience here. Store all. Boom. And it has it in here. So you can output this to like a tank. Like a portable tank or something. You can also use thermal span. You can also use other fluid tanks as well. It doesn't have to be just strictly EnderIO. Next thing up is the enchanter. Use XP to combine items into book and quill. Create enchanted books. So basically, you throw your enchanted book. Actually, yeah, you throw a book and quill in here, and you throw your enchanted book. So let's get our. Wait, where are they at? Combat. Yeah. Let's say we want feather falling. Let's get a. Book and quill. There's the book. Where's the book and quill? Oh, there it is. So basically, you just take this guy, book and quill, feather falling. Oh, I'm actually wrong. Oh, okay. So you just throw regular items in here. Sorry about that. Can't do a mod spotlight if I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, 'cause I've never really used this. So basically, you just throw your items in here. You can see the recipes here. Book and quill, 16 gold gets you XP boost, protection, all this type of stuff. So that's that. Next up is just your anvil. It says damage resistant, lasts much longer than the vanilla anvil. So it's just the same thing as regular anvil. And these are just your pressure plates. Dark pressure plate only activated by players. Can be painted in the painting machine. So I can throw this guy in the painting machine. Throw any texture on it that I like. This one's a loud one. And you probably can't really hear it because I have my audio turned down. Invisible when painting with clear glass. So basically, I can paint this in the painting machine with clear glass, and it's silent, and it'll be invisible. So that's that. Next up are the conduits. I'm going to break these facades here. These guys are redstone conduits. I can give it any redstone signal, and it doesn't matter how many blocks it goes out. As far as I know, anyway. Because I've used these before. It doesn't matter how far it goes out. And it'll just emit a redstone signal when you throw a redstone signal on it. And these can also do the same thing as any other conduits. It can go on the conduit side, combine with others. And this one is the conduit switch. I'm actually not really sure what this guy does. I've never used it. Let's see what happens. So basically, I guess it just connects these two. This is the same thing as this one. I'm not really sure the advantages, what this one has on this one. This is insulated, so I guess this one probably does have a limit on it. And this one doesn't. Like I said, I really don't use these. I mean, I've used these, but I haven't used these two. These are just power conduits here. Let's break the item conduits off this one. So this comes into a tiered system. This one uses, this is an energy conduit. It has, wow, I have to actually show this because Wayla doesn't show it. Here, let's actually just throw these guys. For those of you asking why I don't middle click on it, it doesn't let me have to actually change my control for that. So we have these guys here. Let's grab the important conduits. Fluid, pressurized, ender, item. So this one here is the regular energy conduit. It's the first one you can make. I'll put 640 RF a tick per connection, not just over the cable. According to Dark 20, I've actually tweeted him this before and asked him. Next one up is the enhanced energy conduit, which you can now put 5,120 RF a tick. So these only use RF power system. So keep that in mind. The next one is the top tier. It's actually pretty expensive. 20,480 RF a tick. So yeah, that's that. Next one is the fluid conduits. These come into a tiered system as well. You have your basic one, which max extracts 50 millibucks a tick, and the max input and output is 200 millibucks a tick. Fluid flow respects gravity, so if it goes up too much, it will slow down really, like a lot. It'll like slow down a lot. And flow rate is dependent on fluid viscosity, which basically means depending on how thick or thin the fluid is, depending on how fast it flows. Next one up is the pressurized fluid. It doesn't respect gravity. It doesn't bother with the fluid viscosity. So max input output is 400 millibucks a tick. Max extract is 100 millibuckets a tick. Next one up is the top tier here. This one has 200 millibucks a tick. Max input output is 800 millibucks a tick. Instant fluid teleportation allows multiple fluids to be transported on the same line, which that can come in really big handy. Next one up is just your typical item conduit. So basically, let's grab an inventory here. Let's grab, I don't know, chest. Where's our building block? No, decoration. So let's grab some cobblestone, and let's grab a chest here, and let's grab a chest here. We're going to set this guy to an input. You can right click it with your crescent hammer, or you can just right click it on here. So insert, I'm just going to set a priority of 1, and set this guy to extract without signal. So if I put this guy here, this guy will slowly start extracting to this chest. So very, very nice. That can come in handy with automation. And these guys are just ME conduits. For those of you who know what applied resistance is, this is the dense ME conduit, it's regular ME conduit. This really has no use without AE. It's the same thing any other AE conduit does. Dense one allows 32 channels, this one allows 8 channels. So that's that. Next up is the capacitors. Wow, I don't know what happened to all my inventory. Next up is the capacitors. You have the basic capacitor, you have the next capacitor. First one. These are multi-block structures, by the way. You can build it to any structure you like, any size, any shape, it does not matter. And the more capacitor you put on it, the higher input and output goes. So as you see, it's currently 12,000. If I break that, it goes down to 11,000, 10,000, and so on. So these come into a tier system as well. This one holds 1 million RF. Next one, the capacitor bank holds 5 million RF, and the vibrant capacitor holds 25 million RF. And these are also multi-blocks as well. The more you add, the higher it goes. This one goes up by 5 million. And the vibrant capacitor, as you see, I'm charging here. This one, 2 of these there's 25 million each. So this one outputs 50,000, 25,000 each for one. I don't know if I said 5 million here. I meant input output is 5,000. Input output, that one's 1,000. So the more you add, etc., 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 the more that one can input and output 200,000. So beware that multi-blocks can cause huge lags on servers. So I wouldn't go too crazy with these. So I think that's pretty much it. I covered pretty much most of the stuff that's actually important in EnderIO. Also, there's your item filters and all that type of stuff. You can figure out what that does. You also have a conduit binder. So if you right click certain settings, I always get these mixed up. So if I shift right click, it says no, stupid things in my way. Conduit set to the north. How do I? Okay, I guess because I'm in creative. But basically, you just shift right click. It'll say settings saved, and then you shift right click. No, then you right click on another one, and it'll say settings applied. So that's how you use that. So I guess I'm going to end the video there. If you guys enjoyed the video and I actually helped you out with the spotlight, like spike, please be sure to hit that like button. Also, please be sure to share the video with your friends in case they don't know how to use EnderIO, or if you just really enjoyed the video. Also, please be sure to subscribe if you guys really want to see more mod spotlights or let's play series of modded Minecraft. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.